first, you heard the description. What else can you tell me about this data collection project that already happened, the 33 million cell phones that were tracked and which we only found out about because Blacklock's an investigative journalism organization reported on it?
Yeah, thanks, Christine. And you mentioned earlier that it really became known in December of 2021 when Blacklock's, who do tremendous work here in Ottawa, really digging deep into federal contracts and getting to understand where the government's going with respect to tenders and RFPs. They reported just before Christmas that the Public Health Agency of Canada had an RFP out that was scheduled to close in January that would allow them to continue to track the mobility data of Canadians in their terms and the terms of the RFP to better assess public health response and better assess public health data. It became known at that time that they were actually had already started the process of tracking cell phones. They had done it in the previous 8 months, and that they were looking to continue this program because the original contract, Christine, was done on a sole source basis. Yeah, so that's how we found out about it.
Why wasn't that original program disclosed to the public? And is that itself concerning? I mean, I don't like the idea of learning that the government had been tracking all of our movements for who knows, for several months before it was even disclosed to the public.
Yeah, and in the testimony at committee, the Minister of Health, Jean-Yves Duclos, had said that the Prime Minister went out in December 2020 and had talked about this particular program. But the challenge is in the distraction of a pandemic and people worried about what's happening with the pandemic, very few people knew about this. Did you know that, for example, that the mobility data on your cell phone was being tracked? I certainly didn't. That's concerning in and of itself that they were actually secretly tracking this data, but worse than that, they didn't ask for my consent. I had no idea. There are lots of things that people consent to knowingly or unknowingly, but the fact that a government agency, the Public Health Agency of Canada, was using that data, I had no clue about that. And it seems many Canadians, because I've heard from many of them, and you've probably seen some of the reports, they didn't know as well.
Now, was that program that already concluded, did that violate any privacy laws, the way it was conducted?
Well, we don't know. And that's really what the source of the investigation of the Ethics Committee is right now. We want to make sure that the privacy of Canadians was protected based on privacy laws. The government has said that, the information was aggregated, de-identified, depersonalized. But security experts like Dr. Cavoukian and others have told the committee, and even in advance of their committee appearance, had said that without the proper security protocols or measures in place, I find it awfully difficult to take the word of the government. And this is what we're trying to get down to, deep down onto, is to make sure that the information was protected and it followed all of the privacy laws in Canada. Now, nobody is disputing the fact that data can be used for good purposes. The principle of whether the protection of these privacy rights of Canadians was done in a manner that was secure and the protocols were in place.